This show is brought to you by John Hughes and ORE Off-Road Equipment. Welcome to DriveWA. Today, we're hitting the road to Geraldton and the Shipwrecks Gallery, home of the Batavia wreck. But on the way, we meet some new friends who like to show off. We find out why trees grow sideways up there and visit the spectacular memorial with million-dollar views. On the last show, Mark and Taryn headed out of Perth to Cervantes and the Pinnacles, taking in some world-class scenery and several crayfish. This time, they're heading further north towards Geraldton, along the coastal road out of Cervantes, which most travellers miss by taking the Northwest Coastal Highway or the Brand Highway. Along this very safe and extremely picturesque drive, there are hidden gems and beaches that can turn a dreary day on the road into a day you'll never forget. And one of the best is at Little Anchorage, just out of town.
Who'd have thought if you just drove about 30 seconds off the highway, you'd hit this?
Yeah, I can't believe it. All we've done is we've just took a little detour and now we're in the Indian Ocean. Got a few people crabbing. Looks like you can put your tinny in. Did you clock what the name was when we come through? Anchorage something, wasn't
Little
it?
Anchorage.
Little Anchorage, that's right. You could park up here and have a lovely little spot.
It's absolutely beautiful.
Well, we've stopped now. We've got a lot to go, so we'll keep on going. What do you reckon? Yeah. Nice spot though.
That's the great thing about Western Australia. You can head north and make good time doing 110 on the highways, but you can also take the safe and scenic route to really see the Wild West. The best part is, some of the attractions you'll find for free are as unexpected as they are amazing. One thing this area is never short of is wildlife. And if your passenger keeps a keen eye on the ocean, you never know who you might bump into.
Oh, there they are.
Look at them, see them? See the dolphins?
We were just driving up on the highway and we saw them and thought we'd jump down and have a look.
Look how close they are. We're only probably 5-10 metres away from them. We're just driving along, looking at the ocean, and this is the kind of thing you'll see on your trip. Fantastic.
And they're absolutely beautiful.
The water is crystal clear and we can see them swimming and everything. They've just gone down for a bit of a swim at the minute. They'll come up in a minute. There they go. Lovely sight. One of the best sights you'll see in the world, that is.
Oh! I want one.
They was right there, and then they just come right in close, and now they've gone. Oh, look at them throwing the fish. You see them throwing the fish?
I want it.
Look at them throwing the fish. They're jumping up and down. There must be some fish around there. That's why they're doing that. They're herding all the fish up.
There you go. I've never seen one do that.
What, throw the fish up?
No.
No? Yeah. I've seen them herd them round before. I've never seen them throw them up.
Wow. That is amazing.
Close. It's not very deep. It's only a couple of metres deep. They're gone, aren't they?
I think they're, up around there.
Yeah, gone up the top bit.
There he is. was good timing, eh?
Yeah.
Just driving on past.
Yeah, and there we were.
Every human being is unique, and our identity is important to us. Who we are, who we want to be. Nowadays, an online identity is equally important, whether for an individual, a group, or a business. At Nupwork, we embrace differences and make the web work for you.
With a few unplanned pit stops, it was finally full steam ahead to Geraldton and the fascinating historical areas of Dongara and Greenough. Dongara itself is widely known as the rock lobster capital of Australia, and many of the local buildings date back to the turn of the century, including the spectacular mill. As the road stretches towards S Bend and Greenough, there's several sights you don't want to miss, including the famous leaning trees. There's no science to it. This is one of the windiest places on Earth, and the stiff sou'westers cause many of the trees to grow in sideways. Some even do a U-turn and head straight back to the ground. Another unique building perfect for early morning photos is St James Church.
We're here at the St James Church in South Greenough. It's 237 years old and was the first Anglican church built in the region. I love visiting old historical buildings. I've been to Notre Dame in Paris, I've been to Westminster Abbey in London, and you know, you always find real pearlers when you just step off the beaten track. And when I was in Ireland, I was driving along the road and we just saw this huge old church ruin, and we stopped. It was a grey, misty day and it was a beautiful place to take a photo, and I absolutely loved it. Now, this may not be so big and grand, but it's a great photo op, so I'm going to stop and take one.
Not far from St James Church is a place that almost defies a description. It's all things to all people, and specifically, it's the Greenough Pioneer Museum. Gary and Peter have turned this house into a very unique tourist attraction that boasts an enormous collection of local history and even some spooky ghosts, if you come at the right time. But the real attraction of this house is the guys who live here. So, let's meet them.
How are you, fellas?
G'day. How you going?
Nice,
I'm
Mark. Gary.
Peter.
Hello.
Peter.
Taryn, hi.
Welcome to
Hey,
the Pioneer
Taryn.
Museum.
Great,
Come on
great.
in.
Well, it looks fantastic. Do you want to
Thank
show
you.
us around?
Absolutely.
Come on, doggy.
Come on.
And the other one. Come
This
on.
is Millie, that's Oscar.
Oscar.
Part of the furniture.
Great, looking fantastic. How old is it?
The house was built between 1860 and 1880. Okay, this is the home of John and Elizabeth Maley. John Maley built the flour mill, which is a big 3-storey building next door. Had a general store, a hotel, a brewery. He was quite a busy man. By the 1880s, he was known as the King of the Flats.
Right.
And this was the most impressive house in this area. It needed to be a big house because he and his wife Elizabeth had 14 children.
So he was busy as well at that.
They were both very busy
No television
people.
in them days?
No. Well, if you like, we go through and explore the rest of the house.
Great,
Sure.
great.
Okay, let's walk through into the newest part of the house. This was built in 1880 and it housed the dining room, the parlour and 2 bedrooms upstairs. Now, John and Elizabeth were really sociable people. They wined and dined in this room, governors, bishops, farmers, fellow merchants. They were really hospitable people. Shall we go and have a look upstairs?
Sure.
Great. Now, before we start going up the stairs, are they going to hold me? Because I'm no small fry.
Those stairs have been there for 120 years.
Right.
And they've taken bigger people than
I'll
you.
go first then. We'll try them. I'll go first. Oh, they're well sturdy.
I'll wait until you're up.
Yeah, wait till I'm up, Taryn. We don't want two on here at once. Oh, I'm needn't have worried.
Okay, let's go into the nursery.
Lovely. Brilliant. Big.
What is that?
Isn't that beautiful? That's the rocking horse was made on the farm here in the early 1900s. They used kangaroo hide and horsehair. Isn't it a scary looking creature?
Yeah, it's pretty awful.
Now, I'm not much of a horsey person,
Yes.
but that saddle looks like it's on the wrong way round to me. Is that right?
Gosh, yes, it is. Well
See?
done for spotting that. Not many people
I've got an
pick
eye
that
for
up.
detail.
Good. Okay.
Do you want to go have a look outside then?
I reckon.
Can we go?
Have a look at the
Yeah,
garden.
definitely.
Sure.
Come on.
Great.
The Pioneer Museum homestead itself is rumoured to be haunted, and Peter certainly won't do anything to dispel that myth. In fact, several of us felt a presence hanging around in different parts of the house, but you'll have to come and feel it for yourself. That and the two-seater toilet.
Okay, this camel wagon is one of the biggest wagons ever built. It was built out at Pindar, east of here, and used to carry wool from Buladi station to the Pindar railway line. It was pulled by camels, 18 camels, and it
Wow.
carried about
18.
What, here?
out east, yeah, and carried about 60 bales of wool, which is a massive load.
Yeah.
It's impressive, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
very.
But even
very.
more impressive is our 800-year-old leaning tree. Do you want to have a look?
Definitely.
Let's go.
Okay.
We absolutely treasure this tree. It's a Eucalyptus calengidensis, more commonly called the red river gum. As you can see, it's one of the famous flooded river gums, or the bent trees. Very, very old, estimated to be approximately 800 years old. There was a core reading done about 20 odd years ago, and we were told then it was about 780 years old.
Really?
Wow.
So when you think about it, it was a seedling in the Middle Ages.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Gary's since had this tree registered with the Heritage Council, and it's a beautiful place just to come and chill out. And as recently as about 200 years ago, this was a famous meeting place for the Yamaji Indigenous people.
Wow, there you go.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I think that's really what we found today, that if you don't drive fast and you don't drive past, you can find these really great little places that are just absolute gems. And
They are indeed.
thank you for having us.
That's a
Thank
pleasure.
you.
It's been
Thank
a pleasure
you.
for us. Thank
Thanks.
you. I'm
Bye.
going to get out
Bye.
of this tree.
750, that's older than my mother-in-law.
No, it isn't. No.
While Peter and Gary play down the paranormal activity in the house, and frankly, there's no sign of it during the day, we did go back later that evening and several of us did feel some strange things after the lights went out. Anyway, it was onward to Geraldton to catch sunset at the War Memorial overlooking the Indian Ocean. But, as usual, there were just too many good things to photograph along the way. Give yourself plenty of time and get creative with your holiday photos. Massive sand dunes and the blue ocean signal your arrival to Geraldton, which is one of Australia's fastest growing cities. It's also going through something of a cultural revolution, but one place you just can't miss is the Geraldton Museum. Yes, another museum, but this place is far from boring.
Catherine.
Taryn.
I'm Mark.
Hi, Mark.
Pleased
Welcome
to
to
meet
our
you.
museum.
I'm going to go have a poke around the gift shop and a bit of a wander.
Go and buy me something.
Show you
Buy me
around.
something nice. Show me around,
Let's go,
Catherine.
Mark.
Yeah, this looks fantastic. Look at the plane. I like the plane.
Yeah, that's a replica of the Bristol Tourer that did the first mail run in Australia.
Oh, right, OK. And this is a thing that intrigues me, the theatre room.
Yes, we show movies here every day, particularly the one that shows the reenactment of the shipwreck and mutiny of the Batavia. Let me take you to the Shipwrecks Gallery.
Good idea. This looks very good in here.
Yeah, it's very historic in
Yeah,
here.
through the little bridge. I like the ropes.
Yes. It gives you the feeling of being on the boat.
It does. It does. I'll tell you what, while you're talking to me, I'll rock like that.
Okay.
OK?
I can tell you about these stones, Mark.
Can you? They look impressive.
It's probably Australia's heaviest jigsaw puzzle.
Right.
These are from the Batavia, and the Batavia got wrecked at the Abrolhos Islands in 1629.
That is impressive.
They were recovered from the ocean floor
Yeah.
and put together by our staff in the museum, and they were intended to go to the front of the Dutch East Indies Company's
Right. Oh, OK.
castle in Batavia.
Really? But,
Yeah.
but we ended up with them here.
We ended up with them here because the Batavia came to grief on the Abrolhos
Yeah,
Islands.
which is just west.
That's right. It's about 60 kilometres west of Geraldton.
Right.
And over about 125 people were murdered as part of the mutiny when all the survivors washed up
Yeah.
on the islands.
Yeah.
And here are some more of the artefacts that were found.
So this was all recovered from the ocean floor?
That's right. That's right. The Batavia never made it to Indonesia because it came aground at the Abrolhos. Probably the bloodiest mutiny in our history. 125 people murdered until the mutineers were caught and brought to punishment. So a very gruesome story from our history.
Oh, great. This is good, this one. We've seen quite a bit of this one. Oh, I didn't know the mother-in-law was in here. She's not looking too well. We'll go out here. Shall we see if anything else we can see?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sure there's loads.
And Mark, if you're interested in seeing how the Dutch East India Company travelled from the Netherlands around to Jakarta, all of this tells you exactly how they sailed around.
Right. This is impressive. This would make a lovely coffee table.
Oh, would it? Yeah.
What's that button do? Oh.
Starts off
Where's
the
that coming
audio.
from? Oh, it starts off the audio, so it's interactive.
That's right, it's one of our interactives.
Brilliant. What's this one do? Brilliant. What about that one?
Give it time to catch up with you, Mark.
OK. Well, I can't play around on this all day.
OK.
Let's go and see
Let's
something
have a look
else.
at something else.
Good idea.
This is our newest exhibition, The Pride of the Fleet. It tells the story of the discovery of the HMAS Sydney and Cormorant in March last year.
This looks very good.
We have lots of artefacts from the search crew. We have some things that belonged to some of the sailors that went down on the ship, donated to us by their relatives.
Yeah.
And we've also got some footage that the photographs and the cat were able to take of the wrecks on the ocean floor.
Yeah, no, it's very good. And obviously the HMAS Sydney was a very significant part of Australian history.
That's right, and it was found just off the coast of Steep Point here in WA.
Right, the most westerly part of Australia.
Exactly.
Yeah, I noticed we've got some video footage.
Yeah, this is a very poignant audio-visual which shows historic photos and of the crew and the HMAS Sydney, and then shows more of the footage that they were able to take when they filmed the wrecks last year.
This is really impressive.
Oh, thanks, Mark.
We've
Glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah, well, we've seen plenty of maritime stuff. What's this?
Well, apart from the maritime, we also have the natural history of the Midwest, and these are just some of the species of animals that you can find living in and around our coastal areas, including the Abrolhos Islands.
Right, okay, he looks a big fella.
Yes, this is one of the sea lions that you can find around the Abrolhos, and I believe that the species is quite connected just to that area.
Oh, right, okay. Well, we've been away from Taryn for a little while. She's been in the shop, and we better go and see her because we know what she's like. She'll buy the place up.
Okay.
And I bet she hasn't bought me anything. Well, that was really good.
I'm glad you had a good time.
Oh, lovely. Let's see if we can find Taryn. There she is. Oh, it was brilliant.
Yeah?
Fantastic. Yep. Did you buy me anything?
Yeah.
What did you buy me?
A pretty pink.
A lovely pink picture.
Yeah.
Great. I'm going to stick that on the lounge room wall.
All right.
Well, thanks very much for showing us around. It's been fantastic.
You're welcome.
And thanks for the gift shop. I enjoyed it.
See you again
Come
soon.
on,
See ya.
let's go. We've got places to see.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
After learning all about the Sydney, it was time to head to the memorial that sits high over Geraldton. The lookout is amazing, with views sweeping from Kalbarri's cliffs in the north to the endless sandy beaches to the south. But more importantly, it's a chance to pay your respects to the brave men and women who gave their lives defending Australia.
Mark and I are here at the HMAS Sydney Memorial not only to absorb the beautiful surroundings, but to pay our respects to the 645 souls that were lost.
We've had a hectic day driving around this fantastic state, and what we're going to do now, we're just going to slow up. We're just going to have a look around this magnificent structure that they've built just to pay our respects to the sailors.
So Mark, you seem to be a bit of a history buff. Can you tell me what actually happened to the HMAS Sydney?
Yeah, well, what happened was, out there to the west of Geraldton, the HMS Sydney was sunk by the German raider Cormorant, and that's how the 645 sailors were lost. Every single one of them was lost. Yeah, this is all their names. We've got James Robertson Hutchinson, was a stoker second class. Hattersley, Jack Osberg, able seaman. They're all up here, and this is absolutely fantastic.
And you can also see that people have left poppies to pay their respects.
Yeah, the 11th of the 11th, at the 11th hour. That's when all the respect's paid. Fantastic, an absolute fantastic thing to do.
In this magnificent dome above us, there are 645 seagulls which represent each of the souls that were lost. The lights above us represent the port and starboard lights that you can find on a ship.
And what better way to end the day than toast the sailors that lost their lives to give us the life that we've got now, lest we forget.
Absolutely.
And that's just one more day on the road through WA. Next time, we'll see more of Geraldton, including a very haunted house, before showing you the spectacular coastal gorges of Kalbarri. So remember, don't drive fast, don't drive past. Stop in and meet the real Western Australia. But visit DriveWA.com first to plan your adventure. This show was brought to you by John Hughes and ORE Off-Road Equipment.
This church may not be so big, but it definitely has some history. It is how old is it?
Well, if you like, we go through and explore the rest of the house.
Great, great.